Welcome, everyone, to the Flower Files podcast sponsored by Wildly Native Flower Farm. Here, everyone is welcome to talk with fellow flower lovers, including real perspectives from the farm, the flowers, and me, the florist.
From the messy day-to-day operations down to the details and even business perspectives, this podcast has a little bit of everything to keep it real. We know that life can get crazy and we don't always have the time to spend on what we love, so we are here to help you take a little time to indulge in nature. I'm Liza Getz.
I'm Lizzie Frey, and we are the team that makes this podcast. Every once in a while, we have a couple guests, this business thing, and what we are working with is called life.
Join us as we walk you through how to think outside the box, talk from the farmer's perspective, have honest conversations about florals, and how to run, well, life. So listen in.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, in the podcast section, and any of your other podcast platforms. You can also find us online at wildlynativeflowerfarm.com, and in an easy way, you can look in the show notes, and all of the information will be right there for easy access.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Flower Files. Here we are sitting today to talk all things flowers, farming, and the business of beautiful beginnings, which is a little tough I guess it's January, beautiful beginnings, all of the things. I'm your host, Liza Getz, flower farmer, florist, and some say the heart behind Wildly Native Flower Farm. So today we're going to dive into one of my favorite seasons of life, and that is engagement season. That magical, slightly chaotic time when you're flashing that ring, showing folks your Pinterest, maybe pinning things at 2 a.m., and trying to figure out where to even start. To help us navigate that excitement and maybe a little stress and overwhelm of being newly engaged, we're joined by the team from Wed Society, Michelle and Dan.
Hi, Liza.
Hi, guys.
Great to be back.
Yay! So excited you guys came back. Yay. Our episode, the last one we recorded, that was perfect. And I quickly realized we need to tackle what it's like when you're newly engaged. So today I want to talk to you guys and help couples figure out, what do you focus on first? How do you even get started?
First, take a deep breath and enjoy it. Enjoy this process. Everyone's going to tell you to start planning right away, but it's really such a special moment. So take a moment and soak it in. Then once you've celebrated, start talking about what feels right for you and your wedding. Do you picture a big party or something more intimate? A beach vibe or ballroom glam? Once you have that vision, you want to start researching your venue, wedding planner, and photographer. Those two tend to book up pretty fast.
Wait. So venue, wedding photographer,
and planner. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Planners really are going to help take the stress out of everything, especially in planning weddings these days. It's a lot more complicated than I think a lot of brides realize. There's so much to it. There's a lot of logistics involved. And we have found that wedding planners really, really, really are integral in helping to alleviate all of that stress and anxiety so your day goes smoothly.
I really feel too, sometimes your wedding planners, if you haven't picked your venue, may have some hidden nuggets of
Absolutely.
Like when they have that initial phone call and those initial kind of conversations, it tells the vibe of the couple so you can figure out, okay, this is a fit. Hey, these venues would be great.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. And you know, traditionally people like to start with booking their venues and the photographers, but the wedding planner is quite often the person you should start with, because you're right. They can help get to know you, understand your vibe, your personality, your budget, whatever it is that you're looking to achieve. And they can point you in the right direction, help you think of things you probably didn't think of before.
There's so many layers. Oh my
so
gosh,
many
there's
layers.
so many layers to a wedding. It's not, we're going to put up a tent, we're going to say I do, and we're done. Have a picnic. It's not quite like that all of the time. It's definitely...
They're not like they were 40 years ago when my parents, when our parents were getting married, probably longer than that. I'm aging myself. A long time ago. My mother, Daniel and I are getting married in a couple weeks.
Yay!
And we're very excited. And my mother she's just completely shocked at how much is going into planning a wedding in 2025, 2026, like above and beyond anything she ever planned in her time.
Yeah, absolutely. My parents commented when my daughter got married, like, you have to what? You have to. I was like, it's all a thing.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's layers to it. So many layers to it. I think one of the things that has stuck in my mind from the last time we talked was decision fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
That is a real thing, because on average, how many different vendors do folks talk to me through some of your statistics?
Yeah, sure. So interestingly, there are an average of 16 wedding vendors for each wedding. So you have to select 16 vendors to support your day on average.
Wow. Okay. So all right. So you've got the venue.
Venues,
One.
photographer,
Planner.
Florist.
Florista. Caterer.
baker.
Oh yeah. Gotta have the cake or the cupcakes or the whatever, but you have to have dessert.
Yep. Decor and rentals. That is a big one, and you don't think about it, the multitude of layers that go into decor and rentals, because that could be anything from plates and linens and special glasses to unique decor items that you just want to decorate with, like a vintage TV, or it could be a tent and a dance floor for an outdoor wedding.
Or the telephone thing that people do. The
that's
telephone
very popular
where you
too.
leave a message and it's voices.
Yes.
And okay.
Yeah, it's an audio guest book.
Yeah.
They're very, very popular.
I knew there was a fancy term.
And we're also seeing sometimes 2 or 3 decor and rentals
per wedding.
depending upon how unique and personal couples want to make it.
Yeah, because somebody may not have the circular bar, but the other vendor, that's a good point, because we've seen that too. There's been a couple weddings where I'm like, holy cow, like they're coming and everything's happening.
I think that's 7.
I think we're at 7.
Yeah.
So we're still at 9.
So bartender,
absolutely. Hair and makeup.
Yeah, and sometimes they're together, and sometimes they're separate.
That is true. Yeah, sometimes you will find a company that can do both, or an individual stylist that can do both, but it's very common to find specialties for just hair and just makeup.
Yeah, I'm fascinated. Some of them are on site and some of them are not. So there's so many layers with all of that.
Yeah, and then weddings just aren't the day of. You need a rehearsal space. Usually, if you have guests coming in, you want to feed them the night before. Accommodations. So what's that getting us to? 11?
10? I've lost count now. Where are we? DJ or band, musicians, entertainment. We need that.
Yes.
And again, sometimes there are 2 or 3 different.
That is true.
Yeah, that's true, because you have the ceremony, maybe you have a string quartet.
Right. And then maybe a DJ for the reception. So yes.
And we were at a wedding. There was actually he played a single instrument, whether it was a sax, trombone, a horn instrument. But he was separate from the band.
Interesting.
Yeah, he actually.
He did the cocktail hour.
He did the cocktail hour.
Gotcha.
And then then when the band took the break during the reception at 11 o'clock, he came in and played for like a half hour.
Ooh, what about end of the night? So it's the end of the night, and one of the new trends is they feed everybody again.
Oh, late night snacking. Yes. And a lot of times it's like bar food or food truck food is very popular. Yes, nachos.
A wedding this past weekend where they had a pizza oven on a trailer came in. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is the coolest thing ever. That was crazy.
Party favors would be another category.
Photo booth.
Photo booths, yes.
Signage. Interestingly, again, I don't think that's something a lot of people think about, but custom signage is very popular.
Yes.
As well.
The mirrors always stress me. Like, please don't let there be wind and anything blow anywhere. The mirrors are very pretty, but stop it. It stressed me out. And the paint, the live.
Oh, a live painter. Yes, we have seen a few of those in action. It's really cool to see.
Oh, that's crazy.
Officiant, you need somebody to actually marry you.
This is true. Oh, videographer.
Yes. Or content creator, very common and popular now.
Or both.
Or both. Sometimes we see both. Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Ooh, and the drone people.
Oh, yeah. And, interesting one, pet attendant.
Oh,
pet
true.
attendant, because it's very popular to have your pet be a part of your wedding right now,
Yes.
right? Like they can
Yes.
be a ring bearer or a flower dog or
Yes.
whatever, walk down the aisle with you. But then you have to think about who is going to take care of that animal the rest of the
Afterwards.
time.
Yeah.
You need somebody there. And your friends and family are all going to be participating in your wedding.
Yes.
They want to enjoy their day. They don't want to be
Yes.
looking after your pet.
No.
So pet attendants. Yeah.
One of the things that I attended a friend's wedding this weekend, which was, it was so odd to like go and attend and not like set up and leave. I was like, oh, I have to stay with all the people. But the gal who sat with me, she was actually a certified babysitter that would babysit during weddings while she was in college.
Oh, wow.
So she would go to the place where everybody was staying and she would babysit. I was like, wow, I never even thought of that. So the kids could be there and then she would take them when they were done.
It's a great idea.
And they needed a break.
It is a great idea.
I was like, okay, so babysitter.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Fireworks.
Fireworks.
I feel like that's another big one that we've seen.
Mhm.
Really big one.
Fashion too. You want to make sure you spend enough time for your
dress.
bridal. You need a dress. We want a dress, and we need a tux or a suit for the gentleman. Bouquet preservation.
Yes.
Not something that typically brides think about in advance, but you should. In fact, we know some of the really good ones want you to book your floral preservation like 9 months in advance.
We've had brides drop their bouquets off at our step with a note that says, can you preserve this? And it's like, whoa, wait, no, that's a whole separate process.
Yeah. We work with a vendor who will actually, you reserve your date and then she has like a whole mailing process. So you can mail your bouquet to her the next day and it gets to her fast. And then you've got all of the time it takes to dry them out and preserve them and do all of that. But you have to plan in advance for that or else the flowers are going to die and you don't want that either.
Yes. No. And let me tell you, that is not easy.
But there's some really fun and beautiful things people do with florals now to preserve them.
100%. Between pressing and then having them pressed inside a picture. And
or the acrylics. I've seen a lot of work with acrylic. You can get beautiful spheres, like little paperweight kind of a thing, like a little decor item. Sometimes I see initials. You can get your monogram.
I've seen so many different things with acrylics. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's really beautiful.
What have we missed?
Last thing, honeymoon.
Yeah.
In today's society, you can obviously go on any number of sites and book it yourself. We have found that working with travel agents indispensable. I mean, because they have been there. They can book something that is completely unique to your style, not just for where you're staying, but day trips and everything else. And it's still a thriving industry.
And to cover all and to take care of all of the logistics. I'm going to keep going back to that as a bride myself. I have we have a business we're running and trying to also make all of those decisions and keep everything organized and ready to go for our own personal wedding is so complicated. It is just a lot. So,
and even travel agents give you just little tips.
Yeah.
We use one just for a personal vacation. She's like, when you come through, don't talk to anybody because we're all going to try to take you here and there and there. This is what you're looking for. It's a 10-minute walk. But she told us that, and she was correct. When we came out, people were bombarding us with, we can take you here, where you going? And we stuck to the plan and got there.
Yeah. And that's important because realistically, I feel like honeymoons don't happen the next day anymore. I feel like people are taking a breath, which is, I mean, you have all those friends and family in to begin with, and there are so many layers of things and you're exhausted.
Absolutely.
So people are taking them at different times, which makes a lot of sense, but there's still a lot of logistics to figuring that out.
Absolutely.
Huge amount of logistics to that.
Yep.
So how do you find people choose their vibe?
How they choose their vibe. I think that's very personal to you, right? That's a good question. I know for Daniel and I, I'm an artist. I like things that are a little edgy, a little offbeat, a little bold, a little different. And Daniel loves music. In fact, part of our relationship has revolved very much around a lot of the music he has introduced me to and the concerts that we have been to together. So when we have the
top concert,
I'm sorry?
What's the top concert?
Drake White, I would say, is, I know, see, I saw the look on your face. Not everybody knows him. Well, how would you describe Drake White? He's more of a country folk.
Inspirational. He's not your typical.
Very soulful.
Soulful,
Awesome.
Yes. That's a very good,
Awesome,
good way
awesome.
to put it. It's very, he in fact, he himself had I want to say, I'm simplifying it, an aneurysm on stage in 2017. And he actually has a whole couple songs about recovering, and it's called Hurts the Healing. So you have to kind of go through a pain to get to where you want to go to. And he's made a full recovery. And it's interesting watching him go from the first time we saw him, a little shaky on his feet. In fact, I think he was barefoot, to fully recovered, playing guitar, all that stuff.
Wow.
So it's been a bit of a journey for us. We've actually seen him in concert, I'm going to say 4 or 5 times now. And the first place that we saw him together was at the Queen in Wilmington, which is where we are getting married.
Oh,
so there
I
is
love
that personal connection. So
Yes.
to bring that back, and you're asking, how do you pick a vibe? I think it's very personal, you know? We chose this because it made sense. It's a quirky vibe. It's a quirky place. It's a little edgy. It's rock and roll. You know, it's a concert venue. It's this old historic and beautiful and kind of grimy, but very neat. But it has this music connection to it. So we're really weaving in a lot of those personal touches that mean a lot to us as a couple. And we're creating an experience for our guests that really reflects who we are.
Do you feel... do you feel a tiny little bit of pressure in having to put together your wedding because of what you do?
Yes.
You didn't even have to blink.
Just a tiny bit.
We have gone back and forth on
Just eloping.
on some of the guest list.
Yeah.
And then also how we represent a luxury brand. So how should our wedding reflect that?
Yeah.
But also be realistic for us personally as well.
Yeah.
But so interestingly, we were originally planning to get married on a cruise. And we had planned that long before Wed Society came into our lives. And then after that, for a number of reasons, we decided we wanted to shift. But one of the biggest reasons was because we realized, oh my gosh, we are doing this business now and we want to support our community. We really should be here. And it is an opportunity for more of our friends and family to come, because a cruise was not going to be accessible for most of our guests. And we knew that. So we pivoted, and we're thrilled that we've done it, because now we've got everybody coming that we wanted to come and then some. And it really gives us an opportunity to get out there and support this community that we believe in so much. So we're really, really excited about it.
So Dan, I'm going to put you on the spot. How did you propose? Oh, that was a sigh. He was like, oh man.
So I was originally going to propose actually midnight on New Year's Eve.
Oh wow.
Had it all planned out, had the location. I figured she'd find it within a half hour of that. I pivoted a couple days before.
Interesting.
Couldn't wait.
Yeah, the mood just hit. I knew it was hitting, so I just said, all right.
We were having a wonderful moment. It was between Christmas and New Year's. We were both off. We were just relaxing, and we were just having a really close, beautiful moment, listening to some songs. Again, it's kind of like the soundtrack of us, and the moment just felt right.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Wow. I love it. I love it. It's always interesting to me when I first have a consultation with any of my brides. I always ask, what's your story? How did you guys meet? And you're right. It really reflects how they end up on the rest of their journey in this whole process.
Yes.
You know, if they met because they were sailing, they're going to probably want some kind of venue that has something to do with the water.
Right.
You know, there's so many little trails, little Easter eggs. That's the word I'm trying to bring forward.
And things that are sentimental to each, couple. I find a lot of the weddings here in Delaware and on the Eastern Shore are sentimental because the couples grew up here.
Yes.
They spent their summers at the shore.
Yes.
So that's very common that they come to this is meaningful to me because this is a place I spent a lot of time when I was younger, and I love it. I have a connection to it.
Yes.
But yeah, we are really seeing couples being a lot more intentional in planning their weddings. They're not doing things just because they're traditional or they should. They're really sort of choosing details that feel very personal and meaningful to them. So think smaller guest lists and elevated experiences. Statement florals are huge. Bold color palettes, unique entertainment, anything to really kind of break it apart so that it stands out and really reflects their personality. Custom suits, we're seeing a lot of that. Fashion forward bridal looks, a lot of dress changes. The micro dress at the end of the night is very popular with the ladies. And I'm wearing sneakers with my with my gown. They're beautiful, they're white, they're lace, they're adorable, but they will be comfortable. And I'll be able to dance. And it's going to be cool. And it's going to be me.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's one of the things. I feel like weddings used to be so very prescribed.
Yes.
You did this, you did this, you did this. And now it's no.
Couples are prioritizing connection and joy over perfection.
Yes.
Right? It's all about celebrating authentically.
Yes. Yeah. We did a wedding a couple months ago at this point, but weather was a question. So what this couple did is they said, well, let's have cocktail hour because we're not sure what it's going to be. And then we'll do the ceremony and then we'll just go right to the reception. So even down to those little idiosyncrasies where it's, there's that flexibility and everybody was like, wait, what? Okay. And it worked and it was perfect.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the things that I love is hearing everybody's stories and how they want, I want this flower because it represents this in our relationship or a family member or something.
Yeah.
And it's so much more prevalent than I've ever seen.
I actually think I'm going to call it on this podcast that cocktail hour is going to come first in the near future before the actual reception.
Or ceremony.
Ceremony, yes, because and that happened to us. We were at my cousin's wedding, and the officiant didn't show up. He actually called. He was stuck in traffic.
Oh, that is my nightmare. That is my worst nightmare. We haven't done that. But that is my nightmare.
Yeah, so luckily, the bride had
the cocktail hour.
Well, no, she had a wedding planner.
Oh, yes.
She had a wedding planner who was able to take charge in that moment to figure out what to do.
And pivot.
And she decided to have the cocktail hour first. And I got to tell you, because it was 3 or 4 o'clock ceremony, it was in a high-end hotel. They had a courtyard. The sun was still shining at 3:30. It was a little delayed, so we had the cocktail hour, and then by the time we actually started the ceremony, the sun was setting. It had cooled down. Twinkle lights came on.
It was beautiful. Yeah. It was like a happy accident because it was really, truly beautiful.
Wow. And the great thing is, you then have a few drinks in your system, so it all feels
so
better.
Everybody relax.
Right, and what happens at a lot of weddings, you have all this cocktail hour, you're eating all this great food, and then you go right to the reception where you're having more food.
Yeah,
now
it breaks up.
Now you're breaking it up. So when you actually get to the reception, you feel a little more hungry and want to enjoy that food.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I'm seeing less toss bouquets.
Yes.
So if we're talking about trends and things that people are doing and maybe not doing, I feel like toss bouquets, people are like, I'm not doing that. I don't see the garter.
I never see the garter. Well, except for the one time we recently saw it.
Yeah. But I feel like that's very...
It's the exception now, not the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the dances still happen, but I think they're shorter.
Yes.
I don't think it's the full song, and I think they're very rapid.
Yes. I think, we live in a social media age, right?
Yes.
Our attention spans are much smaller than they were a decade ago. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to sit through an entire 4-minute song. In fact, Daniel and I are actually taking dance lessons for our dance as well. And fortunately, the song we picked is only 2.5 minutes. But I don't think we're going to do the whole song. I think it's going to be a chunk of the song, and then you move on. Because, everybody wants to participate. They don't all just want to.
They don't want to.
They don't need to be watching him and I dance for 3
Right.
minutes. It's just,
Right. Cake cutting. I feel like that is done privately now.
Time. Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's like a main focus.
Yeah, honestly, cakes have been a really interesting trend as well. Some people
transition.
Yeah. Not everybody does the cake cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Some still do. But I'm also seeing a difference in, a lot of these sweetheart cakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's become a really popular trend, and more of these old-fashioned looking cakes that have all of the intricate pipe work going on have been really interesting to see. So I've definitely seen some trends shifting and changing in the cake world.
And dessert tables.
Yes.
So it's not just,
not
hey,
just cake.
here's a cake. good luck, have fun.
Yeah.
This is your dessert.
Here's all of these other
Yeah.
amazing things.
I'm just like, oh, can't we start with that?
It's all about the food. Gotta have good food.
Amen. 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 And I think that's another trend that we've seen that has shifted. Another trend. So I feel like, okay, one of my favorites has been flower girls. Love flower girls. You've got the petals. We've seen wands.
Mhm.
So if they're really, really young, here's a flower wand with lots of ribbons. That's so much easier and less pressure for those little girls, other than like, okay, you have to do that. No, just walk down the aisle,
Yeah.
which is fun. I've seen Petal Patrol. So it's older guys who have like fanny packs and they're just like flipping the flower petals down the
amazing.
aisle. I've seen a lot of grandmothers who are the flower girls who have so much fun with it. So I think whatever normal is, and then when it comes to ring bearers, lots of jogs.
Yep.
I've seen lots of jogs doing that.
Yeah.
Older people, younger people. But one of the things that I saw recently that I thought was really unique is they didn't have a ring bearer.
Mhm.
So earlier in the day, they taped the rings to a random seat underneath. And they had all of the guests feel under their seats, and whoever it was got to be the ring bearer.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was like, I like that.
I love that.
I think
it's
that's
so
cool.
cheeky and fun. It just shows, again, and it involves the audience, right? Your
Yes.
guests get to participate. How
Yes.
fun is that?
Oh, and ring warming ceremonies. That is where, and I feel like that works if you have a smaller gathering. If you have 300 people, that would be tough. But they get blessed, and then they get passed through the entire group before, and everybody puts a wish, and they warm up the rings for the couple.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So
That is so sweet.
really, really neat details. And again, there's another decision.
Yeah, it is. And the more personal you make it, the more decisions you've got to make too, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
so you make all of those decisions, and then inside each of the decisions, okay, you've picked your
Yes.
DJ, now you've got to pick all
all
music.
your songs.
You picked your florals, your florist, you have to pick all of your florals.
Yeah.
Down
It's-
to the ribbon color with us.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
there's so many layers.
Yes, which is why finding a trusted partner so that I can just hand it to you and say, here, please
Fix it.
Fix it. Make it pretty. Make it beautiful. I trust you.
Yeah.
Is super important.
Yeah. You had mentioned a statistic on how much time
Yes.
the average bride spends. So you pick a vendor. How much time do they usually take looking at that vendor?
In a vendor category,
Mhm.
they're spending about 30 hours researching vendors in that category. So when they're looking for a florist, they're spending a good 30 hours on average vetting florists and making a decision. And that's for every single one of their vendors. And then there's an average of 16, like we said, per wedding. So it's a lot of time. It is a lot of time to be a bride planning a wedding.
Have you seen folks, and I know this is something that we've kind of had sometimes, but there's definitely brides that when we work with them, we know afterwards they're like going to have depression after almost, because all of this planning is finished. Now what do I do?
You know, they've got this drop that
Yes.
happens.
Yes. There's so much.
Yeah, to
There's
go
so
from
much.
100 miles an hour to 0. And you're like, I'm done. It's great. And you feel that relief, but then you're like left longing for,
You're like, now what do I do?
now I got to go plan something else. What's next?
When your anniversary.
Exactly.
All right. So you're in the industry. You are in both sides. You are the bride, and you are also for lack of a better description, you're kind of like the vendor too, in a way, where you're going through and you're helping everybody pick all of the things. What's a takeaway that you guys have learned from your own experience?
Oh my gosh. You know, this experience has been very interesting. It's been very overwhelming. I would say that I've always understood the wedding industry from the vendor side, but being a bride myself has really given me so much empathy for the emotional side, all of the stress, all of the excitement, the vulnerability of it all. I have a newfound appreciation for that. It truly is a lot. And it's also just reminded me that every couple has a story. And our job at Wed Society is to help those couples find the people that can help bring that story to life for them.
We tell their story through flowers.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the vendors have a job that day, and it is our job to help that story come to life, to help listen and take that vision and make it yours. And that's so important.
It is.
What's been your favorite part?
My favorite part of planning a wedding?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a crazy creative person. So my favorite part has just been coming up with off the wall things to do, you know, coming up with, instead of table numbers, we're doing songs. And I want to incorporate our favorite song lyrics into the table scape somehow and into the decor. I plan on, you know, having large signs with some key phrases from some of our favorite songs, kind of a thing. Coming up with unique and interesting ways to make the space look like it's $1 million without having to spend $1 million, right? Like, I've really enjoyed that part of it. It stresses me out, I'm not gonna lie, but it gets my creative brain moving, and I've really enjoyed that process.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome, because you have this lens of everything that you get to see, and I wish we could get married more than once. Although my dad would not be happy hearing that from the financial aspect.
There's somebody, I'm not on top of who they are in pop culture, but there was somebody that is doing that every year. They're doing a vow renewal. It is a very common thing, and they're actually having like a big wedding each year.
Wow, my dad would kill me. He would kill me. He'd be like, absolutely not.
You could just always be in planning mode.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, what an absolutely beautiful conversation. I love how Wed Society reminds us that your wedding journey isn't just about planning one big day. It's about celebrating all the little moments that lead up to it. So from finding your dream vendors to discovering your own personal style, this season is really meant to be full of joy and, as you said, creativity. If you're newly engaged, as you said, take a deep breath, because you don't have to have it all figured out today. Start with what makes you feel something and build from there. And if you're a vendor listening in, let this be a reminder that what we do really and truly matters. We help people celebrate love in the most meaningful of ways. You can find more inspiration, trusted vendor connections, and resources over at Wed Society. And of course, we'll link everything in the show notes for you guys. Thank you for tuning in, as always, to the Flower Files. If you loved today's episode, please share it with a friend who just got engaged. Leave us a quick review. It helps us grow and keeps bringing you real conversations from the heart of the floral and wedding world. Until next time, keep blooming, keep creating, one flower at a time.